Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mercy. So today guys, we're going to learn how to sew this beautiful short gown. So I am going to be showing us how to cut and also how to sew this beautiful gown. It's kind of a street wear. So today we are going to be making how to sew and also how to cut. If you're interested, just keep watching and don't forget to like and share. Now I'll be using this my doll face fabric to recreate this gown. Here I have 1 yard of doll face fabric, but I ended up using 1.5 yard of doll face fabric. The fabric that was used in recreating this beautiful red gown, it's Duchess silk. It's very soft Duchess silk, but if you're looking at it, you think that it's a stretchy fabric. Now to manage this fabric, I'm going to show us how to fold it. Then the down part, I'll be using an organza for the down part because I don't have enough fabric. Now this is how you are going to fold up this fabric to get your back and the front. See, now I'm going to go ahead to fold it into two. Then after folding into two like this, I am going to go ahead and fold again. I have folded it again. Now I have a little allowance at the opening side part here. Yes, this place. So that allowance you're seeing there is going to be my zipper allowance. Now I have turned it off for us to see. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place my shoulder to get the length I'm making. And also this place is now the zipper allowance. So the length I'm working with is length 40. I removed 10 inches from its remaining 30 inches. So this short gown is going to be, this upper part I'm making, the short gown is going to be 30 inches, excluding the 10 inches, which I'm going to use for the pleating at the down part. So I have my front and also my back here now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to measure, mark my shoulder divide by 2 plus half an inch, which is going to be 8.5. I'm going to mark. I'll measure my neck width of 3 inches. I'll mark it there. Then the depth is going to be 1.5 for the back. You can make 1 inch because this is kind of tight neck depth. It's not that too loose neck depth. So I'm going to place my my tape to mark my shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to hip. So I have my shoulder to waist and also shoulder to the hip line. Then the remaining will be the length of the gown. Okay, I'm not making use of shoulder to under bust here. So from the bust point, I went up with 2 inches to get my armhole, the chest line. I am making use of my free hand, not a pattern drafting, guys. So I am now marking the chest line here. So I'll divide whatever that is left on the armhole by 2, go in with 0.7 and curve out our armhole curve. Okay, so I first of all mark the neck depth of the back, 1.5 inches. Like I said, you can mark 1 inch depending how wide and tight you want your own to be. Now I'm marking the neck depth of the front, 3 inches. So I have 3 by 3 for the front. So next is to input the body measurements. Okay, so this pleated part you see on this picture we are recreating, I'll be using organza to achieve it. Now I have gone ahead to put my bust divide by 4 plus seam allowance, waist divide by 4 plus seam allowance, 1.5 inch seam allowance. On the hip, I added my hip divide by 4 plus 1.5 seam allowance. Now whatever I have on the hip, I'm going to bring it down to the length of the gown. I'll bring it down like this and mark it across. I'm going to go ahead to connect all the lines. So you can go ahead and use 2.5 inches for your front neck depth, depending depending your size. So if you are too slim, you can use 3.5 inches by 2.5 for the front neck, and also 1 inch at the back. If you are a plus size, you can use 3 inches by 3 inches for the front neck, or 3 inches by 3.5, depending how wide, how big you are. Okay, you can also use 1.5 inches. So I choose to use 3 by 3 for the front. So if it is too big for me, I'm going to reduce it on the shoulder. And I also went ahead to use 1.5 at the back. I don't want my neckline to be too tight. Now I've gone ahead to cut the front or the back neck depth. As you can see, I am done cutting. I first of all cut the back neck depth. Now I'm going to go in on the waistline with 0.5 inches to cut out my zip bugging. I wouldn't want my zip to bug out at the back. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out like so. So you can see that I am done cutting, and I cut the back neckline. Now I'm going to go ahead to separate the back from the front. I will open it up like this for us to see. Then I'll keep it aside, and I'll go ahead to cut the front neck line. Hope this folding is good for you. It's very interesting. You can use this type of folding to manage your front and your back fabric. So this is what we have here. Now I'm going to go ahead to join the shoulder. After that, I will use this fabric to cut out a bias to turn up the neck front and neck back. I'll join the shoulder, shape it with my allowance, then come back and show us the next thing to do. And if you look, I did not put any dart allowance because the picture we are recreating does not have any dart. So I removed that allowance to this and add only my allowance. So this is what I have here. You can see how beautiful now it's looking. And I have closed the back zipper allowance so that I can be able to get the down part very well. Now the next thing I'm going to do on this down part is to measure the round circumference of the hemming part. If it is 20 inches, I am going to multiply it by 2, making 40 inches. So that is what I am cutting. So I have my own as 42 inches round measurement. So I will multiply it by 2, making 84 inches. And I also went ahead and add extra 10 inches because I am using an organza to do this so that it can be a little fuller. So if you have enough fabric to do your own, go ahead and cut what is going to be enough for the gathering. Now I have the wideness of my organza to be 20 inches. Then I'm going to fold it up like this and close this side. When I fold it up, it will be giving me 10 inches. That 10 inches I deducted from the full length of this fabric. I'm going to go ahead and close the side part and also this back, the two opening side. I have closed it, and I also ran a gather stitch on the center here right now, or the midpoint of this organza. That is how you are going to do it on your own fabric. Remember, I'm using organza because I don't have enough fabric. So I have closed all the opening edges. I'm now going to go ahead and begin to draw my gather stitch on the midpoint of this fabric. Remember, run a gather stitch on the midpoint of this fabric after closing your own. And don't forget to iron a hairstay on your own fabric, please. I cannot do that on this organza because it's transparent. So run iron a hairstay on your lining for your fabric, okay? On this gather fabric, run a hairstay to it and use it to turn it up before you gather your own. Iron a hairstay to it, guys. Iron a hairstay. So why gather? This is what is going to be giving me. I'm going to go ahead and gather the whole length to the normal size of the down part of the gown. Okay, so I have my sleeve here. If you watch the picture we are recreating is a very fitted sleeve. So my own is going to be a free sleeve, and I have 27 inches for the length of this sleeve. Okay, I have 27 inches here. My own is going to be a free sleeve. I'm not teaching how to make a sleeve here. So please, after cutting your sleeve to your normal size, make sure you notch the upper and the down part. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep it aside and show us the gather. Now I have the gathered fabric here, and it is the same size of the round circumference of the uh, length of the gown we are making, the down part. So I have two gathered here. I am going to be joining it, the small one on top of this long one, for it to give me that fuller effect. Okay, but I'll keep it aside and show us how we are going to stitch this on top of this fabric. So if you look at the hemming part, I have folded it. Okay, I have folded it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring to the right part of this gown and place my gather at the center part of the back, removing 1 inch allowance to it. I have 1 inch allowance to it, okay, before pinning it up. Then I am pinning on the upper part of this fabric, and I went in a little with 0.3 inches. You can go in a little with 0.5 inches. I am pinning this gathered fabric on top of the mouth of the gown. Okay, I came in with 0.3 inches. So I have run a stitch. After pinning, I ran a stitch on it. So look at the little allowance I have. After stitching it, I have just 0.3 inches little allowance on the mouth. Now I have not gone ahead to close this gathered at the back. You know, I left. So this is our sleeve, looking so beautiful. It's kind of A-line sleeve. So I left an opening at the back on the organza fabric. You can go ahead and close it. So I use an invisible zipper to this. Please make sure you use an invisible zipper. So this is the place I'm talking at the center of the back. I have not closed the organza. Now I'm going to bring the two edge of this organza, the two side of the organza. I will turn it up on the wrong part, then pin it up and stitch. Then after closing it, I am going to run the remaining stitch on top of the organza to make sure that it's holding, to make sure that the organza is is secured on top of the fabric. Hope you understand. I can, if I want, I can be able to close this organza on the when I was running the gather stitch, but I did not do that. I just left it open, and after fixing it on the down part of this gown, I went ahead to turn it up at the back with the 1 inch I left, because I shifted it a little bit with 1 inch. Then I'm going to turn the organza at the wrong side, stitching it on my fabric, stitching it on my machine. I'll run a stitch to secure this place I'm pinning up. After that, the next thing I'm going to do is to turn it up like this. I'm just repeating what I just said. I'll turn it up, then stitch it again on top of the fabric, and that will be all for this tutorial, guys. So after stitching, I'm going to go ahead and iron it and show us the final look of this gown. So guys, if you like what we do here, please don't forget to like our video and don't forget to share our video. This is the final look of it. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share. Okay, bye for now. See you on the next tutorial. If you have any question, drop it on the comment section. Bye for now.